all of you had a wonderful weekend. And in the first hour, we're going to be
1 minute until showtime.
Computer and Technology News brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. In the second hour, we're going to be talking to Kitchology. Ira Sherman is going to be joining us and telling us what Kitchology is all about. It's how they're using technology to help people deal with food allergies. Interesting hour, and we look forward to having her on the program. So sit back, relax, enjoy 2 hours of Computer America, and admire our new logo on our website, too.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello and welcome into the Computer America show. Hopefully everyone had a good weekend. I am going to be doing the intro today because, hey, I need some practice, and what better day than Monday? So yeah, welcome to the Computer America show. I'm your co-host, Ben.
And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
There we go. Yeah, and hopefully everyone had a really good weekend. Just want to throw that out there. And Craig, I know that you went out and saw the new biggest movie, Hotel Transylvania 2.
No, we did see Spectre, the new James Bond movie, and I really enjoyed it. Your mom really enjoyed it too, because basically this movie ties together the total of 4 movies, the 3 preceding with Daniel Craig as playing James Bond, and it kind of brings them all together. And we find out who Blofeld is, which we never really knew. We found out how he got a scar. Basically, Christopher Waltz did a stellar performance as Blofeld, who's the evil head of Spectre.
Did it leave room for Daniel Craig number 5, or
Yes.
was it this is the culmination of Daniel Craig as James Bond?
No, it is not. And we sat right to the end of the credits, and I said, "It's going to come. Wait for it." And at the end, it said, "James Bond will return." So it is coming back. And in the interviews, Daniel Craig said, "No, he's going to do at least a couple of more before he gets too old for the part." That's all it is. Basically, is when the actors become too old to do the Bond part role, then they retire. But no, he plays an excellent James Bond. And the movie was terrific, and you get a lot of insights, which you really never got before, where all these people came from and how it all came about. So very enjoyable. 2 thumbs up. I highly recommend that you see it. If you're a James Bond fan.
Always tickles me silly that Craig will go out and he'll give you his review and tell you to go out and see a movie, but then whenever you tell him about other people's reviews, he says, don't listen to reviews. Just go make up your mind yourself. Don't listen to other people.
Well, that's true. But I'm just reflecting. I'm just telling you how I felt personally. And if someone would come to me and say, "Hey, what movie would you suggest?" I would certainly suggest this movie.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. So yeah, and since this is the very beginning of the show, we usually like to ramble off that we have a couple of things going on here at the show. First and foremost is, of course, come out and just interact with us. Connect to us through social media, through Facebook at Computer America, Google Plus Computer America, YouTube Computer America, Twitter Computer America, Pinterest Computer America. All places that you can find us or find anyone on social media. Computer America is there, and you can leave us questions, you can show us pictures, you can tell us your stories, and heck, we might even relay that on the air live because we like hearing from you guys. And, we like hearing from you guys so much that we actually have a phone line dedicated solely for you to call in and hey, talk to us about whatever you want. Hopefully it's relevant to any news stories that we do or the guests that we have. But yeah, feel free to call us or send us a note. The phone number to call us, by the way, 347-884-8881. We'll get that and we'll get you on the air, or we'll take your question. Very, very easy to get in contact with us. The other way to get in contact with us is, of course, at our homepage, computeramerica.com. And there you will find a nice little form. Submit your question here. It's at the top of every page. It's on the side of every page.
Upper right corner. Yeah.
Upper right corner. And yeah, just submit a question and name, email, just for identifying purposes. And you can ask any and everything your heart desires. Love advice, weather forecast, whatever. Doesn't matter. We might not answer it, but hey, submit. That's that's plenty good. Yeah, so today's show we have news, and we're gonna have a couple of other things that we need to talk about here in the first hour. And in the second hour, we will be having Kitchology. It took us a long time to decode how to say that properly. But it is apparently the combination of kitchen and technology. And they have a new app out, and we look forward to talking to them in the second hour.
You're talking about food allergies, right? And
right.
To bring that information out.
Perfect. Yeah, and if you know anyone with a peanut, and if you just flick them in the head with a peanut and they go into a seizure, you know how important of a topic that is. But the only other thing I think that we missed here was our contest. We mentioned social media. Connect through us through social media. And our good friends over at Logitech have a mouse waiting for a lucky winner every week. We just had our last winner last Friday. And we have a mouse to give away from Logitech for anyone who signs up for our social media. Yeah, so go out there, sign up, and you can win. So I believe that's all the morning announcements. And Craig, anything else?
Yeah, of course, the most important thing, as Ben mentions, is if you have a comment or question, give us a call at that 347-884-8881. Also, you can if you missed portions of the show, or if you want to see the show over again or listen to it, we have our live video streaming available now. Yes, we're a radio talk show, but if you go to the show lounge, and that appears on any page at computeramerica.com, just click on that. And the live video stream will begin, so you can watch the show as well as listen to the program. And while you're there, the archives page, again, at any page at computeramerica.com, shows you all the places where you can listen to archives of the Computer America show. We have the video archives, we have the audio archives. It's all up there. So if you missed anything and you want to catch it again, certainly you can at the archives page. So I think it's ready for us to do some computer news, right?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right, let's do it. Today's computer and technology news is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system. Slimwareutilities.com. And by the way, Slimware Utilities is going to be on the show this coming Thursday. If you go to our calendar page at computeramerica.com, that shows you the guest calendar. It's under the press releases, news, and info. Under the guest calendar, you'll see that Slimware Utilities is going to be joining us on Thursday at 3 p.m. Mr. Kevin Thomas, who is the product director, is going to be talking about Windows 10 and privacy. Interesting topic, and we look forward to having them then. Okay, so it's time to do some news. And in this first story, which Apple unveiled.
That we did not talk about that. We talked about how the first thing we're going to talk about today is, of course, BlizzCon happened Friday and Saturday this weekend.
Was it everything that you hoped it to be?
Everything and more.
Everything
and more.
Right.
It had tons of information. We're going to spend a little bit of time talking about this.
Okay.
And if you did not know, BlizzCon is this huge convention that's held out in Anaheim, California, almost every year. That is all about glorifying everything that is Blizzard. So StarCraft, Diablo, Hearthstone, Warcraft, and so on and so forth. Everything to do with Blizzard, you can find out, and they even make some very, very big announcements out at BlizzCon. And this year, I guess, with their keynote, the biggest announcement was they showed the opening cinematic to StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void, which is the new StarCraft game. which is available tomorrow, actually. Pre-sale now and available for download and playing tomorrow. They showed off the opening cinematic to the new World of Warcraft Legion opening cinematic. So that was very, very cool. And they even gave a soft release date of next summer. And that's something we're going to have to talk about because that's something Blizzard, I really feel, is messing up.
Do the cinematics reveal to you as a player, the quality of the game to expect? I mean, can you see that in the cinematic? Did it have those kind of?
Really, no. World of Warcraft is one of those games that is you can go out and play it right now. It's been going on for 11 years. You have a taste for it, and just because there's a new expansion doesn't mean that they're really upping the digital quality of the game. They're definitely there are some improvements in gameplay. They did show some some early access and some beta, and there are quality of life and things like that, but it's not a massive overhaul. So you can't really say that oh, look how good that cinematic was. They're really putting everything into it. No, the cinematic is always its own little shindig.
Okay.
So it's but it was very entertaining. You should definitely go check it out. It's about 4 minutes long. It's in a word, amazing.
Let me ask you. You mentioned the words, two words, massive overhaul. Did Blizzard ever do a massive overhaul to World of Warcraft, or has it always been the same, the game?
They do this with every expansion where they call it a massive overhaul, but a massive overhaul, I feel like what people expect is a new game engine or just entirely new concepts within the game. Like it's no longer an MMO, and now it's an RTS. Like it's nothing earth-shattering like that, but they do have a lot of changes that go from one to the other, and they really do try to freshen up the game with every expansion. So they do a lot of extra content. I hear with this one, it's more voiceover work than any other expansion that they've released, and I think this is like their expansion number 7. So they definitely are putting a lot of quality into this one.
When you say voiceover, you mean the characters speak?
Yes, like every single critter, every mob, every major character, they're all getting more dialogue and more lines. So it's not just text on a screen that you read. A lot of it is going to be voice actors in a studio.
How do you differentiate the voice actors from other people who are actually playing the game? Is there something that
the people playing the game, there is no direct talking, like you don't just stand in the middle of a city and you hear everyone through a headset. The voice acting is still very much one-on-one.
Okay, because I'm used to like things like Halo where you hear the people that
no.
Oh, okay, doesn't happen in Warcraft.
No. But no, and so they had the launch trailer, which was amazing. They announced a couple of updates for Diablo 2 patch 2.4, which is great, and they even had the director of the new Warcraft movie come out and introduce the full-length trailer for Warcraft. And you can go check that out right now. It's up on YouTube, and it's about 2.5 minutes long, looking really good. Other than one of the main characters gets the whole woven wicker basket floating down the river Moses kind of treatment, but all in all, it looks like a huge summer blockbuster movie. And they did announce that will be coming out in summer 2016. No doubt that the game and the movie, they're going to try to shoot for a very, very close release date and try to build up some of that hype during the same time.
And as I recall, Ben has stated on the air that he is obliged, he's obligated to go see this movie.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's looking really good. If you're a fan of things like Lord of the Rings and just other epic fantasy movies, then Warcraft is going to be right up your alley. It's something that's been in the making for a long, long time, and it's nice to see it finally come out. And I think it's going to have mass appeal beyond just people who know the storyline for the last 20 years. It's going to have mass appeal to just about everyone who likes epic battles and CGI and just huge expansive worlds. People are going to like it. So yeah, that was announced Friday with the opening ceremonies, and BlizzCon itself was just a medley of different things to watch, see, look at. They had a costume contest with like, dozens upon dozens of people all entering their costumes. That thing lasted like an hour and a half. Very, very impressive. The amount of detail that goes into these costumes. They had panels all day Monday. All day Friday and Saturday. That told you about the coding and the technical stuff behind the scenes that they had to do for the new World of Warcraft. They had community panels where just people could ask anything that they wanted to and get their development, and just get the developers' sentiments behind it. Like there was lots of Q&A, lots of content, lots of new stuff. They had tournaments for Hearthstone, for Hearthstone, World of Warcraft, and Heroes of the Storm, where there were prize pools of, I think, about $250,000 that could be claimed.
Wow.
And yeah, that was definitely a lot of fun. But yeah, no, it almost everything that was seen Friday and Saturday, if you were one of the few people that actually paid for the virtual ticket through DirecTV and online, then you saw all this happening the day of. But luckily, thanks to the advent of the internet and technology and archiving purposes, everything that was announced and released is available on YouTube and other sites that you can go check out. So even if you weren't able to spring for the money to actually see it live, you can go out and find all the information backed up somewhere else.
It's interesting you mentioned the Lord of the Rings when you were talking about the movie. And obviously the Lord of the Rings was Tolkien's classic novel that he wrote. I mean, you read it in school. It was considered a classic. It was. Now you're coming out with this movie based on the video game, so it doesn't really have, I guess, the heritage.
If you're about to say that doesn't have the books, because it does have books, but it doesn't have 100-year history, because Tolkien, because it was written, 80 years ago.
Exactly. Do you think it's going to be comparable?
Well, I take that back. It kind of does have the history, because the creators behind Blizzard, the people behind Warcraft, they grew up reading Tolkien. They spent countless hours playing tabletop Dungeons and Dragons. Like that's where their influence was. That's what kind of made them decide that, hey, we want this awesome story with all these different characters and your typical orcs and your humans and your elves and all that kind of thing. Things that Tolkien really inspired. All inspired Warcraft.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, as Ben said, you can see it. You can watch it again if you missed it.
Now, the only thing I want to talk about here, while it's so fresh, because it did just happen, was World of Warcraft and all the panels that they had. They had a lot of different content out because Legion is coming out in the next couple months. But here's the only one of the big sticklers I have for Blizzard, and that's that Blizzard is messing up big time. They're making a lot of mistakes with what I feel should be their flagship game, because World of Warcraft has been in the spotlight for a long time, and at the same time I feel like now it's getting kind of a backseat treatment, because they're putting a lot of effort into Hearthstone, which is massively popular. They have millions upon millions of people playing that. They have Heroes of the Storm, which is their new MOBA. They're very entertaining, but they're really the crown jewel of the Blizzard lineup is WoW. But at the same time, they're messing it up, because in WoW you have tiers of content. You have a content that you clear, you get a couple months on it, and then supposedly Blizzard is supposed to come out with more content for you to do and enjoy. And people really expect it at a pretty healthy rate, because they are paying $15 a month for it. Not many games out there still have a subscription model where you're forking over $15 a month, just to play the game. A lot of companies' models nowadays involve, it's free to play. If you like to advance in some sort of way, you pay us a little bit of money. If you like cosmetics, you pay us a little bit of money. But World of Warcraft has stuck with, for the past 11 years, pay us $15 a month and we'll keep giving you content. And the problem is that the current content, when Legion finally drops, when the next expansion finally drops and finally gives us more content, more real content, because they've been adding little things but not huge things. The current tier content will have been out for about 13 months, over a year of the same amount of content, and it's really, really hurting their subscription numbers. I'm not sure if you saw how many people they had subscribed last quarter, Craig.
No, I did not. How many?
They went from, at the very launch of Worlds of Draenor, because it was so hyped, it was so anticipated, and people were loving it. They hit 10.2 million people, and that was the highest has been in a couple years. And then let's see, the next quarter after that, they hit like 7 million, so they shed like 3 million. And then the quarter after that, they hit something like I don't know, 5.5 million people. Like they lost almost half their user base over the course of half a year. And now they just came out with the latest, and they've only shed about 300,000 people. So they're at about 5.2. And that's great and all, but then they came out with a statement saying that they would no longer release their monthly subscription numbers, or at least their quarterly subscription numbers.
Really? Is that because they're embarrassed about them, or they just don't want to? They don't want to.
I think that, and they said this just a couple days before the whole BlizzCon, when people are really, really, really excited about the new content and everything, but people are like, something has to be up with with this statement that they're not going to release the numbers anymore. And they gave some PR answer that's saying, monthly subscription numbers are no longer indicative. We make a lot of money from our in-game purchases and so on and so forth. Like they said that pure subscription numbers are not a good representation for the health of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, hey, we're no longer doing that. But then they come out with BlizzCon and they said that Legion has a summer release date. And that was something that no one was really looking forward to, because they said they wanted to get the expansions on a yearly release cycle, whereas in every year they have a new expansion at the end of the year. And at first people were moaning and groaning about that, but at the end of the day, I think people were just excited about new content. Even if you have to pay $50 for the content, new content is what makes people keep subscribing. Mm-hmm. But now that we're on the same stuff for 13 months, and we're not expecting anything for another 6, and hey, you're asking people to essentially sit on their hands and chew over the same stuff for another 7 to 8 months.
Is there any way to?
That's why they stopped telling you these subscription numbers, because they know they're going to be shedding a lot of people in that 7 to 8 month waiting period.
Ben, is there any way to suspend your account and then come back later on, or do you have to keep it out?
Oh, absolutely. There's absolutely, you can either stop paying for your subscription, so it's you just stop paying for it. It goes into suspension until you renew it again. Or there's, of course, you can call up customer support and just say, hey, I'm no longer playing, freeze my game time, and they'll unlock it for you at another date. But that's what they say about subscription numbers. People aren't going out and deleting their accounts. Their accounts are still there. Yeah. It's just they're not active. Blizzard is not getting that $15 a month from those people.
Got it. Okay.
And it doesn't seem like a lot, but $15 a month, when you multiply that by 5 million people who stop paying for their WoW account, mm-hmm. That's let's see, 5 times 15 is $75 million a mm-hmm. month.
Yeah,
that they aren't earning because they don't have the content to keep people coming back, and they can't justify paying for that over and over again.
Yeah. Okay, well, there's the update from Ben. Okay, well, there's the update from Ben regarding Blizzard, and as he told you, if you missed the live show, you certainly can watch it. They provide it everywhere, especially on YouTube.
Not done, but obviously Craig's bored with it, so we'll save it. So we'll save a little bit of it for our Gamer Tuesday when Josh Boykin joins us
tomorrow.
Next Tuesday. Yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, exactly.
Tomorrow, and we'll talk more about BlizzCon, everything that was released, and in more detail. But suffice to say that there was a lot of great content that came out and a lot of great videos. You should definitely go check out at least the Warcraft trailer, the new opening to StarCraft 2 and the new World of Warcraft opening cinematic. All of them were traditional Blizzard fanfare with traditional Blizzard high quality.
All right. And as Ben said, Josh Boykin, editor, contributing editor at large at Pop Zero, will be joining us for both hours as we'll talk about that and other things as well in our Gamer Tuesday show tomorrow. Okay, we continue to do computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software computer America. This story.
Oh, wait, I have one more thing. One thing that's we will probably talk about tomorrow, but I just want to throw it out there. Will Wheaton, or should I say in Family Guy style, Will Wheaton. Mm-hmm. He hosted BlizzCon, at least the costume contest, and he, kind of he was the hype man for a lot of the contests and the Q&A and things like that. Mm-hmm. And I got to say, he did not do well.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. He was a little bit condescending. He just was horrible in his delivery. He kind of treated it like he was, a little bit head and shoulders above everyone, because everyone there is, of course, super excited about video games, and you couldn't help but feel like he had a little bit of a condescending attitude when he was dealing with people who were dressed in full, in full costume, and people were sitting there in the audience and they're there for video games. There was a bit of condescension there that a lot of people picked up on.
All right. Well, maybe we'll talk a little bit more of that with tomorrow on the Gamer Tuesday show with Josh Boykin. Okay, we're continuing to go on. This next story from CNET. Apple sets iPad Pro launch as it seeks a more serious crowd. Now, I don't know if you remember, but Apple had unveiled the iPad Pro, and basically this is a larger screen. It's as opposed to the 9.7-inch display. This one has a 12.9-inch screen. It also offers the Apple Pencil, and evidently this 12.9-inch tablet will be available for online orders this coming Wednesday and in retail stores later in the week. And of course, the question that Lance Whitney, author of this article at CNET, asks is, how will it do in a sluggish tablet market? Okay. So, as I mentioned, when it's going to go on, it's also going to, some wireless carriers later in the week in more than 40 countries, it's going to start carrying this tablet. And Apple made this announcement, by the way, today. Unveiled by Apple in early September, the iPad Pro, again, sports a 12.9-inch screen. It weighs 1.6 pounds, and it supports a stylus and a keyboard, which are sold separately. Now, as I mentioned, tablet sales have been in the doldrums for months on end as consumers have turned their attention and dollars toward large screen smartphones. At the same time, Apple's share of the tablet market has been dwindling. Last quarter, iPad sales fell 20% from the same period a year earlier to 9.9 million units. The seventh quarter in a row that sales have fallen from the prior year and have failed to meet analyst estimates. The iPad Pro is Apple's attempt to try something new and appeal to an audience that wants to do more than just watch videos and play games. Apple wants consumers and business users to see the iPad Pro, which has the A9X 64-bit processor, as an alternative to a high-powered laptop, which makes a lot of sense. Apple is touting the tablet's ability to work with Adobe Systems software lineup and other products for artists and creative professionals. The Pro screen supports Apple's new split view feature, which will allow you to display two apps side by side.
We would think about what was in your inventory that since you are a user of Kitchology, we would already know what you like and what you don't like and what you already have on the shelf. Mm-hmm. So we would start to make recommendations based on what you have in the shelf as part of your ingredient substitution process. And then we would stay with you throughout the entire cooking process until the dish is complete. And at each phase, we would prompt you to say, do you want to share your insights of that particular ingredient that you use. Did it work? Does it look good? Moving on to the next phase. And, the user might tweet and say, this is coming out great. I'm so excited. Kitchology has suggested that I'm going to use rice something or other as a substitution. So we really encourage this social curation process, and you want to share that with your friends who might be cooking the same dish, or maybe maybe someone's going to cook that same dish tomorrow, and you're going to let them know how good it came out and that all these substitutions worked, and everybody was happy, and they didn't know the difference between that there was actually gluten and milk substituted in the dish. It's the goal.
Very interesting. Now, you also mentioned something called recipe channels. What are recipe channels?
So recipe channels, these can be branded by an actual brand themselves, or from based on a particular profile of food cooking. But let me give you an example of what we just did for a branded recipe channel. Just a few weeks ago was Food Day. I don't know if you heard of Food Day. Food Day
for me every day is Food Day for me, but okay.
Well, this is a day to celebrate food and good food and healthy ingredients.
All right.
And it was managed by CSPI, the Center for Science and Public Interest. And so what we did is we asked them to give us some recipes to put in a channel that had a focus on health and wellness and back to the earth and good healthy eating. And we put their recipes into our app and gave them a Food Day channel so that all of those recipes were there and people could find them. And we socialized across the web through our social channels that we were offering a Food Day channel, and we even highlighted the specific chefs that were in that channel. But other channels could be a specific brand. In time, it could be the General Mills branded channel where they would have their recipes in there, or Kraft where they would have their recipes in there. Mm-hmm. And users can also modify those recipes too, based on their particular likes, dislikes, and profile makeup.
Interesting. And so that's basically.
Let me add to that. And so the other thing about the food channels is that what we are also, since we are community driven, is we are encouraging food bloggers that have really unique food allergy combination recipes to be part of a food allergy branded channel, so that people who are looking for these really hard recipes to find will be able to find that recipe, and then they can still personalize them with their own flair.
Right.
That would be a lot of interest, I'm sure, to a lot of people, because if you go out there on the internet right now and there's a lot of information, but it seems like if you have multiple of these allergies, the best you come up with is ice water, add ice, add water, allergy free. Like it's really hard to find combinations.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're allergic to water, you have some big trouble. You have some really big trouble. Exactly.
So, we're fast coming up to the end, but having a huge community is going to be great for you guys. I can definitely see where just having the support network of here's what foods you can make and here are different variations of it is great. But at the end of the day, how do you guys make your money?
So we make money in 3 ways. We sell specialty food products right directly from the app. And this can be in the form of cooking ware, snacks, and ingredients that are specific mm-hmm. to to the food allergy community. And we also are working with subscription companies like the Birchbox of Food kind of companies, where they are in an affiliate relationship where they are selling products, but they also want to tap into our community to make sure that their product can also get found. We do promotion, so that we have, during the recipe modification, we have a product that's placed directly as an option for the user. We have the sponsored recipe channels. And because we stay with the user for the entire cooking process, which can be anywhere from 15 minutes to 2 hours, this is a long time. So a brand can offer an infomercial, targeted ads, native ads, specific to their brands. And then thirdly, which is we believe will be really the big part of how we will make our money, is through the analytics that we capture, which is the product usage, potentially designing a new product, focused user groups and panels, and as well as how a product is actually used in the home and the analytics around that. And we are collecting unique analytics that we believe that from the different groups that we've talked to that are not typically captured. And they're very valuable because they tell a brand how that product is used, how often it's used, and it helps with supply and demand.
Iris, can you just speak just for a moment? I know there's a big concern with privacy. I mean, if I put what my allergies are, and is there how private is it? I mean, can come and go in there and find out, oh, so and so has a such and such an allergy, or
no.
How
no,
do you?
Will my enemies be able to find me?
It's truly kept private. You only share it within your own circle.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to share it with other people. We do allow for we do allow to have profiles set up, and you can share that with specific people that you want to share it with. For instance, if you're making a dinner and you are having different people over and you want to know who's allergic to what, that would be an example of sharing your profile or sharing the specific ingredients to avoid. But other than that, the information is kept highly, highly private.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about this last couple of minutes here about the future applications for Kitchology. I know you touched on a little bit, but why don't you just kind of expand on that for our listeners?
So we are obviously going to reach beyond the target market of the food allergy and intolerance into special diets as a category. And these are the pre-diabetics, people who are losing weight, vegetarians, people who actually have diabetes, people who want to be careful of how much sugar, reducing salt and fat, perhaps even keeping meals with a certain calorie content in mind. And we will work with partnerships to amplify their solutions along with our solution. Maybe those in the nutrition field that are focusing on diet plans. And we will be working with food delivery providers in the future as well.
All right. Okay. And again, the application is free, and where can they go get it?
They can download it on the App Store, and in 3 days, Rise will be available within the app as well.
Now, what platform is that for? Is that for Android, for iOS, what?
It's iOS right now. We are fundraising to raise money for Kitchology to be able to have an Android version that's a little more complicated, and Android has multiple versions, 10 plus. So that takes money for us to do, and but the web itself, the web platform, is HTML5 and easily shows up on an Android phone from our website, and it will look just like an app. It's designed, the user interface has been designed so that it looks and feels like an app.
Exactly.
On an Android or a tablet.
One of the nice benefits of using HTML5 these days. Exactly. Of course, the website is Kitchology, KITCHOLOGY.com. And you or you can go to our website at computeramerica.com. It's right there on our homepage. We have the links to the Kitchology website, and you can download it there. Anything else you want to let our listeners know before we say good afternoon?
I just want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here. And I do want to say one thing. We've had a great week. We are part of Maryland, Startup Maryland, and we won Fan Favorite. And we had over close to 70,000 views on our video. So we are we do have the ability to create the viral buzz.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on that. And
Thank
listen, again, thank you so much for being with us, Iris. It was a pleasure having you on the show and letting our listeners know about Kitchology, kitchology.com.
Thank you.
And best of luck to you. And, come back after, 6 months or so, and let's see how things are progressing for you, okay?
That would be super. We would love it. Thank you so much.
Iris, thank you again for being with us here. Iris Sherman, co-founder and president of Kitchology. Thank you for being with us here on Computer America today. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. All right, so there you go. Okay, Kitchology. Check it out. And if you have food allergies or something, I would think this would be a great interest for you. It's completely free. No reason why not to download it and check it out for yourself. Again, kitchology.com. We have about a minute or two left before we do our sign off. Now I know the big news is BlizzCon, and tomorrow being our Gamer Tuesday show, we're going to talk more about that.
BlizzCon, Fallout 4 was released. The new StarCraft, of course, is coming out tomorrow. It's the very, very, very beginning of the huge holiday season in terms of video games. There are tons of them coming out. If you haven't socked away a couple $100 for your video game budget, you are going to be missing some really great content.
Right. And again, Josh Boykin is going to be joining us there tomorrow. Now, again, don't forget our social media contest at computeramerica.com. I know it's Monday, and you think, I got all week to do it. You only have to do it once. You just register. It's right under our Interact pull-down menu on any page. It says social media contest. Just click on that. It'll take you to our social media contest page where we show you all the different places where where Computer America interacts. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, Google Plus. You click on any one of them. You only do this one time. I need to stress that, just once. You go to Facebook and like our Facebook page. You never have to do it again. But every week you'll have a single entry in our contest. If you go to the YouTube page and subscribe to our YouTube channel, well, now you'll have 2 entries every single week for the end of time. You don't have to do it once. Go to Twitter, follow our Twitter feed. You have 3 entries, and so on and so forth. It's just that simple. And of course, we're giving away that Logitech MX Anywhere 2 wireless mouse, valued at $80 from Logitech. It's a really gorgeous mouse. It has the dark field technology, so it works on glass surfaces or shiny surfaces. Even your pants. It'll work on any kind of surface, really. It's got that switch technology that allows you to switch between more than one computer. It's just a little button on it, and you can just switch between the computers, and it's just that simple. And so head over to computeramerica.com and check it out. It's the MX Anywhere 2 mouse, valued at $80, and you just have to enter in the one time, and you could we could be calling your name out on Friday. Wouldn't it be nice to hear your name as a winner? It could happen and you have a really good chance at it too. All right, so head over to computeramerica.com. Check out all the things that go on at computeramerica.com. There's so many things going on there. We also have our online store. We haven't promoted our online store in quite some time. Check it out. We have all the different Computer America swag. It's at computeramerica.com.
Well, we should be updating all that with new images too soon.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we'll be doing that too. New logos, new images, but it's all there at computeramerica.com. Get the classic version before we changed it.
I guess that's what other companies do. Get them before they're discontinued, and you can no longer get them.
Yeah, then you get the classic version. You'll have one of the few, because we're going to be changing.
90 seconds.
We'll all be
limited edition.
It'll become the limited edition Computer America swag. computeramerica.com. Okay, that about wraps it up. Again, thank you all for being with us here. Again, tomorrow we're going to have Josh Boykin joining us. He is the PopZara's editor-at-large at popzara.com. He also writes for a number of other publications. We're going to be talking about Black Ops 3 versus Halo 5.
60 seconds.
And then is the Call of Duty Crush saga in our future? Because Activision bought King for $5.9 billion. The answer to these burning questions and more will be answered tomorrow. And, maybe Star Wars, Battlefront, something coming up there as well. And the question, does Nintendo still have anything to offer? We'll find out. Again, thank you all so much for being with us here. And Ben and I will see you same time, same location. So until tomorrow afternoon, this is Craig Crossman hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
Have a good one, everyone.
Bye-bye.
10 seconds. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, again, thanks for watching our live video stream. And as I said, we'll see you tomorrow afternoon, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.